What's going on, guys, and welcome back to another video. So the stock market's crashing. We know that, we see it. There's proof, it is here. Now, my warning to you, and this is not financial advice. I'm going to explain what I'm doing. I'm going to explain why I'm doing it and what I'm seeing moving forward. Okay? Now, I'm not trying to give you financial advice. You do not have to do what I'm doing. Definitely consider your own situation before you make any decisions. But here's what I'm doing. I am somewhat getting out of the market before it is too late. Now, let me explain why, okay? Make sure you watch this entire video so everything really makes sense. But here's what I did today. First off, I sold a lot of my positions. It was tough. Honestly, it was very tough to make this call, and I've been making this decision over the past 3 days, okay? I've been trying to come up with a plan moving forward. I gave you my plan, I think last week or a couple weeks ago. My plan hasn't really changed other than the fact that instead of continually buying the dip, because I don't know when the bottom is going to be, and at some point, I don't have an endless supply of money. I'm not a billionaire. I'm not going to be able to just keep buying the dip. And so many people are in that exact same position. If you're watching this video, chances are you're not a billionaire. We're in the same position. And whether we're spending, $100,000 a day buying the dip or $100, doesn't matter. The key is we're not seeing any support on anything. Everything just keeps on dipping, keeps on falling. So what we are noticing is that the markets tend to drop in the morning. Then they tend to rally up for the middle of the day because that's when institutions are actually buying the dip. And that's probably when a lot of retail investors are buying the dip as well because they're saying, oh, it hit bottom, we're going to the moon. No, that's not the case. Retail investors buy in, and then the institutions, well, they sell their positions before the market closes. So guess what I'm doing? Doing the exact same thing. I'm doing the exact same thing, and I want you to explain why. I'm doing this because this is the pattern. The market, some days it goes up a little bit in the morning, but then it quickly goes right back down. And then people start buying the dip, it goes back up, and then it sells off into the close. Well, I'm going to do the exact same thing. So that's what I've been doing over the last few days. That's the exact strategy I'm using. Now, I also don't want to be too exposed in this market because right now the market has no floor. I'm not seeing a floor, okay? So, like I've said before, I'm still buying and selling intraday. I'm doing day trading, which is it's very risky. Okay, so if you don't know how to do, and again, it has a lot to do with technical analysis, but at the same time, you have to be able to read charts. You don't know how to read different charts or understand different patterns, then I would stay away from day trading because it can get very risky. You can lose money very quickly. Okay, so just understand it's a very risky strategy. But for me, it's been paying off, okay? Now, I don't like to hold stocks for too long, especially in this case, because they could drop significantly, as we saw today. And honestly, because of this, the short term, I'm okay paying short-term capital gains because I'd rather pay capital gains tax, short-term capital gains tax, as opposed to lose 50% of my money by leaving it in there because I don't want to pay taxes. To me, that just doesn't make sense. So, here's what I'm actually looking towards. Now, here's what happened today. Let me show you this, okay? So this is what's going on right now. The Dow dropped 1.3%, 450 points. S&P 500, 1.89%. NASDAQ, 2.72%, and the Russell, 1.78%. But we got the VIX. The VIX is up 12.74%. Now, I don't see a floor, okay? I just don't see a floor. That's one of the reasons why I'm somewhat pulling out of the market. But at the same time, I'm gonna jump in heavily very soon. Okay, I don't want to say very soon. Soon. Here's the reason why. Here's what I'm looking for, okay? Next week, the Federal Reserve is gonna have another meeting. And I said this, I think earlier this week as well, is that's what I'm looking towards. I want to know what's the moves that they're going to make. But here's my worry. My worry is that, according to multiple reports, the best move that the Federal Reserve can make, and this is actually coming from many financial experts and billionaires, they're saying the Federal Reserve must tackle inflation and be aggressive when raising rates. And they have to do it soon. So, when rates increase, the market will likely fall. Now, the big worry is that CNBC and the Wall Street Journal are saying that the Federal Reserve is contemplating doubling their rate increase, that this is the best move that they can make because this would really help fight inflation. So, instead of seeing a 0.25% rate increase, we could see a 0.5% rate increase, which would be a killer to the market. But this potentially won't come until March. Until March. We could hear the rumors and reports, which is kind of what we're seeing now and why the stock market is just sliding down. Okay. And if we continue to see this until March, I think it's like March 15th or 16th. I'd have to look, but I think it's like the 15th or 16th that we'd get this. Well, I don't want to wait that long. I honestly do not want to wait that long. Look at this. This is what we've seen in the Dow. Okay. This is what we've seen. Just keeps dropping. Honestly, I don't want to stick around and see how much further it drops. So here's what I'm doing. I'm going to day trade. That's what I'm going to do. Now, while we wait for this potential rate increase or the start of it, in the meantime, we have two CPI data reports. One comes out in February. The other one will come out in March. The expectation is we're going to continue to see inflation creep up. Now, my guess is if we see inflation is flat, probably the next couple days after, we might see the market turn green. But if we continue to see red, and then a little bit of green, and then red, it would make sense to get out now, okay? So that's my warning, is if you are worried about what's going to potentially happen over the next a couple of months, get out now. Save some of the money that you have. And the other problem that we're going to see is that the American people keep spending money. And the Federal Reserve is likely to look at this and be like, wow, our economy can handle this. We can aggressively increase our interest rates. When in reality, no, we can't. The economy probably can't handle that. So, how am I trading right now? Like I said before, I'm day trading. Now, one thing I just want to make sure you understand is even though I sold, and I didn't sell out on everything, okay? So just give you an example. So I didn't sell out like 100% of my positions. I sold probably about 90% to free up a lot of capital. And as soon as I think the market is pretty much hitting the bottom, I'm gonna heavily buy back in. Now, let me just give you an example. Let me pull up a thing really quick. So let me pull this up. So this is end phase, okay? So this is end phase. Now, I've had end phase for quite a while. Now, I'm gonna be completely honest. I was buying end phase once it got down to that 200, okay, wherever that is, somewhere over here. I was buying end phase. I was honestly buying end phase. I thought, it's a good company. I'd own it at $200, okay? Now, I wasn't buying it when it was running up to 250. I sold some. Okay, but I wasn't really buying much there. Okay, but here's what you need to keep in mind. End phase right now. Okay, let's go. So it's at 126 now. Okay, so it's going all the way back to pricing that's back in May 2021. Okay, that's crazy. That's crazy to me. Okay, we go back to the 5-year. Okay, we're running all the way back. We're going all the way back to 2020 pricing. Now, I think Enphase is a great company. I'm happy to own it at $200. I'm even happier to own it at $126. But if we can see it drop into these 60s, okay, we can see it drop into the $50, $60 range, okay, I'd be more than happy to own that. So here's the reason why. Here's why I'm doing this. I have a lot of money right now that's just freed up. It's not going to be making me much money. I might play around with, some crypto. Now my Coinbase account, not touching that. I'm just leaving it. I'm going to keep adding to it, even though it's probably going to drop. I'm okay with that. It's not something that that I plan on making money, today. I want to buy in and hold it. That's my goal with my Coinbase account. So I'm not too worried about that. But it's my stock trading accounts. Okay, my long-term holds, my more swing trading and short-term holds. That's what I'm worried about. Okay, so my other thing that I really want to be very clear on is, even though I sold a lot of my positions over the past few days to free up more capital, as soon as these prices come down a little bit, I'm gonna be buying right back in. Okay, because if Enphase at 126, okay, which is what it is right now, if Enphase at $126, if I can own Enphase at $126, great, I'm fine with that. I absolutely love that because I think it's still over $200 stock. But here's the thing: if I can buy double at 50 or 60 bucks, why wouldn't I do that? Why wouldn't I do that? Now, and I just want to be very clear, what I did today, maybe it was a good move. I think it was a smart move, and I've been contemplating this over the past couple of weeks. But I really sat down, for Martin Luther King Day, and was like, you know what? Should I sell? Should I reevaluate? And I came to the conclusion, yeah, sell, reevaluate, free up some money, and I can do whatever I want with it moving forward. So that's what I'm planning on doing. Again, you do not have to follow me. I highly suggest you don't follow me. You look into your own situation, your own plan, and kind of go from there. Again, my guess is we saw a lot of red this week. We could potentially see some green next week. I could have potentially left money on the table, but at the same time, I'm not that good. I can't predict the future. So I don't know when we're going to hit the bottom. I don't know when we're going to rally and it's going to go up. So I'm not trying to time the market just perfectly, but if I can time it a little bit better, I will. Because I'd rather get double the shares if I can than just get the normal amount. So that's kind of where I'm at right now. Again, you guys can bash me in the comments, and if you guys have any advice, whether it's no, you're dumb, you're stupid, you did the wrong thing. I honestly, I accept any criticism. I accept any responses, any feedback from you guys. But that's currently where I'm at. So here's one other thing I just want to address really quick before I let you go. Do I think the market's going to rebound, and these companies that are really at great prices now, do I think they're gonna rally and we're gonna see great returns? Yeah. But at the same time, if I spend $126 today on Enphase and it drops to, let's say, $70, $100, I'd rather own it at 100. But at the same time, if it goes from 100 down to, and once I start rebuying and it goes down to 50, I'll buy more. And then let's say it goes down to 20, I'll buy more. Now, if it drops below that, I'd be a little cautious. Be very cautious of where I'm at because, well, it's heading closer to zero. So we'll see what happens, but that is what I'm doing as of right now. Spent a lot of time today looking into, did I make the right moves? Should I buy back in? What am I going to do? So that was my decision. I'm sticking by it for now, but we will see. If the market turns around, I see confirmation, things are going extremely well, I could potentially buy right back in. But honestly, as of right now, there's more downside moving forward, in my opinion, because of the Federal Reserve, the CPI data reports, no stimulus. I don't see much coming from the federal government, so that could hurt the American people, and obviously the issues with employment, issues with supply chain issues. There's a lot of stuff going on. So as we get more information on all this stuff, I promise I'll fill you in on everything that we're hearing, but that is what we know as of right now. So again, just want to thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. Consider subscribing, and I'll see you guys on the next one.